I know it's been a long year, but I have never felt as optimistic and as energized as I do right now. In this past year, we've been through so much, but we are now at a moment when we can look back at every sacrifice we've made, at every moment that we've had to shoulder a burden, and look at the results before us. There's encouraging news across the board. Every metric that we are following locally is headed in the right direction. Infections in LA County continue to drop, with a current 7-day average of just 588 new cases per day. Hospitalizations are down 9% since last week, with fewer patients in intensive care units than at any time since the start of this pandemic. Any time since the start of this pandemic. And our test positivity rate stands at a breathtakingly low 1.4%. This is the lowest it has been since April of last year, nearly 12 months ago. So your work is paying off. Everything that you're doing is helping us head in the right direction. And in areas that have historically suffered from the greatest inequities in health resources, the test positivity rate is at its lowest point since the state began tracking that figure last summer. So while cases and hospitalizations are going down, vaccinations are going up. As of yesterday, the city of Los Angeles had administered 770,059 doses at city-run vaccination sites. And in LA County, nearly 50% of residents have now received at least one shot in just the first 3 months of our campaign. An estimated 45% of our county population has been exposed to COVID-19. So together that means, conservatively, at least 70% of our population has or is already beginning to have antibodies to protect us from COVID-19 in LA. And we're not leaving anyone behind in our efforts. Our mobile clinics have administered nearly 50,000 shots in our hardest hit neighborhoods where we lost too many Angelenos. And at least 90% of those folks who are receiving vaccines from that effort are people of color. On Friday, we doubled down on those efforts when I was in South Los Angeles with Kedron Community Health Center, expanding our mobile vaccination efforts in South LA and announcing a new clinic that we will open up together in Watts, a clinic that is capable of 5,000 vaccinations every single day. Thank you to Kedron for your heroic work. And today we got great news from a clinical trial of the Pfizer vaccine showing that the country's shot is safe and effective in children aged 12 to 15, an encouraging sign for everybody under 16, for every parent, and for families. All of this points to real progress, sustained progress, steady progress. And because of your decisions to wear a mask, to follow public health guidance, to get vaccinated as soon as you're eligible, the public health condition of our city and our county has seen a significant improvement. And because of those actions, LA County can now move into the state's less restrictive orange tier. While the state allows us to move now, and I support this decision, Los Angeles County Department of Public Health is waiting until Monday, April 5th, to move us into this tier, to allow the data of our last shift from purple to red to be clear. Monitor those numbers, ensure that our positive trend holds for the full 3 weeks before we take any more steps. Besides Orange County, which is also moving to the orange tier as well, counties across Southern California remain in the red tier, but they're making progress in moving to the orange tier. But LA is leading again, and I'm proud of you, everything you have done to bring this day and to manifest these new openings. Since the start of this crisis, we've seen some simple truths. Follow the science, listen to the doctors, and adhering to public health advice doesn't restrict our freedom. It brings more freedom more quickly. It gives us the opportunity to open more businesses, to be with more loved ones, and to return to the life that we all so desperately miss. And if these trends hold up, businesses and workers and families across Los Angeles will soon begin to feel that relief. You can find the full list of changes going from red to orange at publichealth.lacounty.gov/coronavirus. But let me try to summarize what it means in a nutshell. Starting this Monday, stores, restaurants, houses of worship, movie theaters, indoor gyms, outdoor sporting events, and other kinds of businesses will be able to increase their capacity. Bowling alleys and other indoor family entertainment centers can reopen with limited capacity. Bars will be able to reopen outdoors, not indoors. And tonight I can announce that on Monday, bars in the city of Los Angeles will become eligible for our very successful LA Alfresco program. The city program that's allowed restaurants to serve customers outdoors on sidewalks, streets, and private parking lots. But bars will need to obtain the necessary approvals from the state's alcohol beverage control and adhere to all county public health guidelines. LA Alfresco has been a lifeline to so many businesses and a lifeline to us to safely be outdoors, have a meal, and be together. It's cut red tape, it's provided streamlined, no-fee temporary permits for outdoor dining, and helped so many people keep their doors open, keep the paychecks flowing, keep the lights on, and keep our customers safe and healthy. Simply put, Alfresco works. So tonight I'm announcing we'll continue this program through the summer months and work to create a smooth transition to permanent permits for businesses who want to continue taking advantage of our new outdoor life. To apply for LA Alfresco, go to coronavirus.lacity.org/LAalfresco. I know that all of this news is exciting and it's encouraging, and we should feel encouraged. Hope really is on the horizon at last. But I need to add something that might be hard to hear, that this good news comes with a giant asterisk. There's a reason the county is waiting a few more days, till Monday, to implement these steps. There's a reason why some of our nation's leading scientists are warning us not to let up. Across the country, other regions and other states have begun seeing disturbing spikes in COVID-19 cases. In many places, this surge is the result. It's being fueled by the variant called B.1.1.7. It's a form of the virus that is more transmissible and more deadly for those who are not vaccinated. And as experience has shown us, when COVID-19 is surging in other parts of the country, it can surge here too. But here's the thing, this time that we think is different. This time we have an advantage that we didn't have last November, when cases began skyrocketing across Los Angeles around Thanksgiving. We have vaccines, 3 of them, and all 3 work very well against this variant. We haven't yet reached herd immunity, but we're getting there. Every time another Angelino rolls up her or his sleeve, we make it harder for this virus to make us sick and to spread quickly. In fact, slowing down the virus is one of our greatest weapons. Starting tomorrow, eligibility will now expand in the state of California and here in Los Angeles, so that every Californian 50 years and older will be eligible for their vaccine. And in a couple weeks, on April 15th, on tax day, there'll be at least some good news. Everybody 16 years and older will be eligible for the vaccine. We know, though, it's not just about availability. We need to get people to vaccination sites. We need them to sign up for their dates. That's why we're actively calling people, texting them, helping folks who have no computer or internet access to make those reservations for their vaccination appointment. But I want to call on you tonight to help us with this effort, to call up every Angelino to help get your community vaccinated. Spend some time figuring out what you're going to do to make sure the people around you get their vaccination appointment, so our city can end this outbreak that much sooner. If you haven't gotten vaccinated yet, make your plan to get the shot in coming weeks. Help somebody to make their appointment online who might not have that connection or that technology. And if you've been fully vaccinated, put on your mask and help give somebody a ride to a community or mass vaccination center. I can give 100 speeches with this message, but bottom line is the most effective person to end this pandemic is you. You helping out somebody you know. The person you know has either been skeptical or unavailable or can't figure out how to get a vaccine. Together, we can make sure we hit our goals and hit them quickly. That remains our central focus, but it's not the final step for our journey. Getting people to be vaccinated and to be protected from COVID-19 then begs the question what our city and what our country will look like as we emerge from the devastation of this past year. That drove some bold action to enact the American Recovery Plan, which I've shared with you. The congressional action put forward by the Biden-Harris administration to help workers and businesses, families and students, states and cities weather everything that we've been through and come out stronger on the other side. But today, we got the second dose of the help that is on the way. President Biden today released the American Jobs Plan, a landmark proposal And I'll just speak bluntly. To me, the most impressive set of legislative proposals I have seen in my life. Ones that will rebuild our physical infrastructure, our human infrastructure, that can help us compete in the struggle around the globe with some of the biggest challenges, from climate change to whether the American economy will continue to be strong. And we need Congress to take up this right away. It presents a more equitable, a more competitive, and a more just country and city for us all. As the chair of the U.S. Conference of Mayors Infrastructure Task Force, I can say, as I talk to Democratic and Republican and independent colleagues across this country, if you send us these funds, Washington, we will put people and them to work. You all know how passionate I am about infrastructure. From the passage of Measure M, which is going to fundamentally rebuild our public transit system and build 15 new lines, whether it's our airport and linking that up to public transit, the investments we're making in our pipes and our water, our electricity and our port. I know that the infrastructure work we're doing here in Los Angeles sets the pace. But with federal help, we will accelerate that pace, get good middle-class jobs to Angelenos and Americans. And let me tell you what this legislation will do for you here in LA. It will change how we move. It will pave more streets, fix more bridges. It'll help us make them safer, build bicycle lanes, invest and double down in things like Vision Zero to protect lives, help our dream of free transit and more electric businesses that much closer. It will invest in good jobs, help us cap old oil wells, and put folks who today are working in those industries to work in new industries with the job training they deserve. But it doesn't just stop at that built infrastructure. It's not just roads and rail and airports. This plan looks at how we live in America, putting more than $200 billion into building 2 million units that will be rehabbed, that will be preserved or built of affordable housing for Americans, help us accelerate the end of homelessness in our city and other cities, make sure that every American has clean drinking water by getting rid of every lead pipe in America, not just those that we see in Flint, but right here in LA County as well. And we can see the investment in schools and hospitals that we need, community colleges as well, in this bill. And finally, we learned this year how important caregivers are to our country. They care for our loved ones who live with disabilities, who are old or infirmed. They step up and they give them the life that they deserve. It's time we give them the life they deserve too. And this legislation proposes $400 billion to do just that. This legislation is about winning the future. It's about a just transition for folks working in fossil fuel industries, an electrical vehicle infrastructure that will reduce air pollution here in LA. And it has justice and racial equity as the centerpiece of all of it. LA's fingerprints are all over this legislation because we've been a model for so much of this work. But here's the bottom line. The American Jobs Plan will help America stand apart in our economic strength. This is what government does at its best. It invests in our future, in our children, in our country, in our competitiveness, and yes, in equity and justice in all of our communities. It's been quite a week. We had great news. We saw UCLA advance to the Final Four, though I'll remind folks in celebrating, wear your mask and be safe. I'm sorry the Trojans didn't make it, but they made us proud too, getting to Sweet 16. And we have so much to live for, so much to celebrate, and so much to be hopeful about. In fact, in this season each year, it's a time of rebirth and reflection. This week, Jewish families are celebrating Passover. This weekend, our Christian community will mark Easter Sunday. And soon, Muslims across our city will bring in the holy month of Ramadan. For people of all faiths and backgrounds, we think about resurrection. We think about second chances. We think about the rebirth of our earth and the opportunities in our own lives to turn a new page, for a spring to emerge. However you welcome this season, continue to be safe. Let us take this hope and take this good news and take this enthusiasm and joy we're beginning to feel and not squander it. Wear masks, stay outdoors, please avoid travel and make sure that spring break is a lower key event this year. If you travel outside of California, remember, you must still quarantine for 10 days after you return. We're seeing cases and variants come in quite often from travelers who have been in other states or even other countries. And we must avert the kind of case increase that we just lived with a couple months ago and that devastated too many of our families. But Angelenos, keep being hopeful. This hope is real. This moment is here. And so stay safe and stay healthy, and as soon as you can, get vaccinated. And as always, sending you the strength and love that you need to get through these days and to a better tomorrow. Thank you so much, and with that, as always, I'll answer your questions. First question, please.
First question comes from the line of Claudia Prosciutto with KNX News Radio. Please
hey, Claudia. How are you?
Hi, Eric. One quick question.
Sure.
The al fresco expansion, is that just for bars that serve food? And then some longer questions. During last summer's protest, you said you heard demonstrators' concerns about police violence, and yet you had police show up in force to clear out Echo Park Lake. It wasn't the chief's call. He told me officers went out to enforce a policy decision that was made by your office and Councilman O'Farrell's office. And again, we saw mass arrests, protesters hurt, and journalists detained. Do you have any concerns about what happened? 2, you said this was the largest housing transition of an encampment in LA history and implied it might be tried again. Now you've got faculty members from USC, UCLA, and other universities raising grave concerns about the whole thing and saying that what you touted as success caused far-reaching damage. Your response to that? 3, Councilman O'Farrell said that CDC guidelines were being followed, but those guidelines clearly state that if individual housing options are not available, and shelters obviously are not individual housing options, people should be allowed to stay in encampments, noting that clearing them increases the potential for infectious disease spread. If you could comment on that. Thank you.
Sure. Let me look first at LA Al Fresco. Yes, it is for bars. That's the requirement of public health, both at the state and local level, that need to serve food. Second, I'd like to correct, there was not force to clear out Echo Park Lake. There's 2 individuals at the very end who refused to go, and they were released as soon as they were outside the fencing. So any of the rest that happened had nothing to do with clearing the lake. That was between folks that were out there and police that were making sure that those operations could occur. Second, in terms of the guidelines from CDC, folks weren't moved to necessarily go into mass shelter. And we know, working with LA County, the protocols where we do have shelters that are congregate and people willing to go there. We have the highest health standards there, not only temperature checks, healthcare, things that living next to each other at the lake they did not have, but the vast majority of them went into individual housing solutions, or if they're couples, couple ones, through Project Roomkey, and allowing folks to go into hotels and motels. And as I said, that's not the end goal. It's really something to celebrate. The end goal is going to be to put them into permanent supportive housing. Some of the folks that were out there already did. And remember, there was only really about 57, 58 people. More than 200 have been housed. So people came from other parts of the city, and we were able to house them as well. So I'm not familiar with the faculty letter, so I'll have to get back to you on that. But look, these things are tough. I get it. They're painful. There's lessons to always learn. In terms of what you talked about in terms of the police conduct, absolutely. We always want to look at that afterwards. We want to make sure folks are identifying themselves, that police are not using disproportionate force. The first night, I would say, was quite successful. I think there was 1 incident, maybe 1 arrest, if I'm not mistaken. Look, I think a lot of people that were out there, and I agree with them that we should be all outraged about the housing situation and homelessness situation in Los Angeles, probably didn't know that at that point there was about 6 people left, that there was nobody left. People had taken advantage of this, that weeks of work had gone into putting people into housing first. We don't have to choose between whether people get housed and whether a lake can be repaired and whether the health of it can be restored. We can do both. But absolutely, there's always lessons to learn. I'm looking forward to that after action. But, make no mistake, too, when folks come forward and start using lights or other things, and we've had police officers whose sight has been damaged by lasers, who had contusions to the head and even some brain damage, I believe, last year from projectiles, you have to do it very carefully. My hope would be that we can work in other places, and Echo Park is very unique, as we've seen in Venice. I mean, this wasn't the first place, right? We've seen this in Venice. We've seen this in Council District 3 in the West Valley. We've seen this in 4 or 5 places throughout Los Angeles. We need to find a model that gives people plenty of time, but that also says, if there's public works projects or whatever it is in that area, that when we need to move people, that they do have a place to go. And in this case, I have to say, I was in that element. The numbers speak for themselves. It was the largest successful placing into housing. A lot of people I've talked to said, I didn't realize people were placed in housing, and nobody was really left in the lake besides those 2 who said they didn't want housing, and they were released as soon as they were removed from Echo Park Lake. So all the other rest you saw were outside of the lake, understandably from some folks who are saying, we want to see even more action, and I'm committed to that too. Let's house even more. Thank you. Next question. I got thumbs up. Okay, that's it. Claudia, you got all the questions today. Thank you, Claudia, and let me go to Spanish now. And thank you, as always, to everybody for coming here. Thank you for sharing the good news, and keep it up. Muy buenas tardes, Los Ángeles. Hoy quiero compartir más sobre nuestros esfuerzos para acabar con la pandemia en Los Ángeles. Lo que estamos viendo me tiene muy optimista. Las infecciones siguen bajando, tanto como las hospitalizaciones, y tenemos menos pacientes en las unidades de cuidados intensivos. Las tasas de pruebas positivas están al nivel más bajo desde abril de 2020. A la vez, seguimos vacunando más gente. Hemos administrado 770.509 dosis de vacunas COVID en sitios de vacunación de la ciudad. Y en el condado de Los Ángeles, casi el 50% de los residentes han recibido por lo menos la primera dosis. Nuestras clínicas móviles han administrado casi 50,000 dosis en las comunidades más afectadas. Y la semana pasada lanzamos una nueva colaboración con el Centro Médico Kedren en el sur de Los Ángeles para expandir nuestros esfuerzos de vacunación móvil y apoyar una nueva clínica en Watts. Les aseguro que todo el progreso en nuestra región es debido al impacto de sus decisiones individuales de llevar una mascarilla, seguir las pautas de salud pública y vacunarse tan pronto que es posible. Gracias. Y gracias a sus esfuerzos, el condado de Los Ángeles ahora puede pasar al nivel naranja, que es menos restrictivo. El Departamento de Salud Pública del condado está esperando hasta el lunes 5 de abril para poder monitorear los datos y asegurar que la tendencia positiva se mantenga antes de reabrir. Pueden encontrar la lista completa de cambios bajo el nivel naranja en publichealth.lacounty.gov diagonal coronavirus. Este cambio significa, empezando este lunes, tiendas, restaurantes, centros religiosos, cines, gimnasios, eventos deportivos al aire libre y otros tipos de negocios podrán aumentar su capacidad. Pistas de boliche y otros centros de entrenamiento al interior pueden reabrir con capacidad limitada. Y los bares pueden reabrir sus puertas al aire libre, pero no al interior. Y esta tarde puedo anunciar que este lunes bares en la ciudad de Los Ángeles serán elegibles para el programa LA al Fresco, un programa de la ciudad que permite que restaurantes y ahora bares sirvan a sus clientes en las aceras, calles y estacionamientos. Esta noche estoy anunciando la continuación del programa durante el verano y vamos a trabajar para diseñar una transición para permisos permanentes. Para aplicar para LA al Fresco, visite coronavirus.lacity.org /LA al Fresco. Todo esto nos debe de hacer sentirnos optimistas, pero aún todavía no se ha acabado la pandemia. A través del país, otros estados han empezado a ver el número de casos de COVID-19 subiendo y en algunos lugares una nueva variante que es más transmisible y más mortal es la causa de esto. Hemos visto que esta actividad en otras partes del país puede afectar a Los Ángeles, pero esta vez tenemos 3 vacunas que funcionan bien para protegernos. Empezando mañana, en California, las personas de 50 años o más serán elegibles para la vacuna. Y en el 15 de abril, todas las personas de 16 años o más serán elegibles. Todos, inmigrantes y no es importante su estatus migratorio. Sin embargo, hay más de 5 millones de residentes elegibles en el condado de Los Ángeles que todavía necesitan la primera dosis. Y ahora es tiempo para que todos nos vacunemos. Seguimos pidiendo más dosis y cuando las recibimos, los administramos y así protegemos a nuestra ciudad. Esta noche estoy haciendo un llamado a todos los angelinos. Ayude a vacunar a su comunidad. Si aún no se ha vacunado, haga su plan para vacunarse en las próximas semanas. Y hable con familiares y amigos para ayudarles a hacer una cita o con transporte si es necesario. Si todos ayudan a que otra persona se vacune, estaremos más cerca de los 5 millones y más cerca de acabar con la pandemia. Mientras miramos hacia el futuro, nos preguntamos, ¿cómo vamos a recuperar económicamente de esta crisis? Hoy el presidente Biden anunció su plan de empleo, el American Jobs Plan, para crear trabajos y construir infraestructura. El Congreso debe ocuparse de esto inmediatamente porque este plan ayudará a que los Estados Unidos se distinga por su fortaleza económica. Este es ayuda para nuestro sistema de transporte, más edificios, mejoramientos de nuestras escuelas, hospitales y más asistencia directamente por las personas que cuidarse por nuestras personas de tercera edad y personas con incapacidades. Esta semana, las familias judías de Los Ángeles celebran la Pascua judía y este fin de semana la comunidad cristiana va a celebrar Pascua. Y pronto los musulmanes de nuestra ciudad iniciarán el mes sagrado del Ramadán. Durante esta temporada, por favor, hágalo de forma segura. Y recuerde que siempre estamos más seguros al aire libre y usando mascarillas. Y por favor, eviten viajar. Si viaja fuera de California, recuerde que debe estar en cuarentena durante 10 días a su regreso. Quédense sanos, amigos, y seguros, y tan pronto como pueda, vacúnese. Fuerza y amor, Los Ángeles. La esperanza está en el horizonte. Gracias.